Hi, I'm Solbrick and I'm a Lego hoarder. Maybe you could say I'm a Lego addict. It's kind of like a similar thing where I buy expensive stuff, I get my little fix, and then it kind of like just fades away and I have to do it all over again. But what I am going to show you today in this bit of an impromptu video, because it was demanded by popular demand on my last community post, where I just told everyone why I haven't been making videos in the last 2 weeks maybe. It's because I am selling another apartment where I've been storing a lot of my Lego collection. This is my personal Lego room in the apartment where we currently are living. And we're also selling this apartment, and the real estate photographer is coming on Monday. This is filmed on a Saturday. That means that this whole little storage room where my Lego room is going to be filled with a lot of other boxes, because the photographer wants it to be kind of nice and clean in our house, so we need to hide away all my kids' toys and stuff like that. Last weekend I went to our other apartment that we wrote the contract with a new buyer yesterday on Friday. So he's going to get the apartment in a month, but we already got our stuff, and a lot of that was, of course, it was books and furniture and that kind of stuff, but also well, I mean, it was all of my vintage Lego from the late 70s, from 78 till present day probably, but mostly 80s and 90s stuff that I've been collecting. And that's mostly town stuff, because I'm really into town, but I also have old castle stuff, like this castle here. This one I got for my 7th birthday, and I promised my mother that I would never take it apart, which I technically never really did. I got some friends to take it apart. So that was a clever solution. She didn't get mad at me at anything. She didn't understand that Lego is supposed to be taken apart and rebuilt to other stuff. A lot of new AFOs have that same problem. But here's also that original pirate ship that we recently got in a remake. That's the Barracuda Bay right now. So I have that. I got that for Christmas when I was 8 years old. I have very fond memories because we were at our summer house, but we were there at winter time, which was kind of cozy. We had an open fireplace and everything like that. So I think there's a friend's boat here. So some of you wanted to see the stuff I have. It's been traveling to that other apartment. It's a 3-hour drive. So when we got it there in the first place, a lot of stuff just fell apart, and now we did the same journey back again here. So it fell apart even more, I think. I really like those old ship parts. They are in segments and they're hollow, so they float really well, too well. They bop over the side, so you need to have something heavy that underneath that just pulls them down and stabilize them a bit. And yeah, so I guess this is a fire station. And could we get around here and see what's more in here? Yeah, some newer cradle houses. And in here we have a total mess of stuff, but mostly vintage cars. Maybe you can recognize some of them. And that's the old post office building and a police station, summer house, and that's the wolf's den. That's old castle set. Oh yeah, and I love this set, pizza to go. And I also have the ristorante. The many people for some reason thinks it's a Paradisa set, but it's a town set. It came out at the same time, probably 1990, I would say. And I also have this pretty rare bank. That's super cool. I bought it from another AFOL friend just a couple of years ago. That's the other black bank there. And this is my favorite police station of all time. I think that's from 1978. Totally love that. And as some of you know, I'm also taking apart my custom Lego city that used to take up all of this place where I now have boxes. So we're filling all of my bins with other parts from buildings. Like this is an extra gray bin right now, because my normal full-sized one, that's this size behind here, it's totally full. So I'm having a storage problem here. This is also filled, like this is my third bin with these kind of pieces. Oh, and look, behind here, even more castle stuff. I think that's the same castle set that I got for my 7th birthday. Yeah, well, the same set at least. And behind here it's really tricky to film. Well, there's even more stuff. So I'm totally having a Lego hoarding problem. I do keep all of my spare parts in this Trofast system from IKEA. So I have a row here, and behind here is also a row. Most of the stuff that I don't use that often is behind there. And these are the more common stuff that I'm using on a regular basis. So it's just easy to stand here and build when there's not a lot of stuff here. If we come back to looking at the bins, this is kind of empty at the time. I do have that Space Police 3 craft there, that's pretty cool. And a Battlestar Galactica mock. And this is the sail from that old Viking ship that Lego made. I have most of the Viking sets, I must say, but they are currently taken apart. And more cars here, looks like police stuff from City, and that's a tractor. I have the new red tractor as well. In here, I don't really know what's in there, but more cars probably. And this is filled with 9-volt tracks for the rail system. Speaking of hoarding, I have even more stuff in these drawers. So that's a bit of a problem, but I actually don't have a Lego at the bottom drawer. Oh, well, I did. And I do have a lot of plates, base plates. It's tucked away back here right now. So it's a mess, and this is starting to fill over right now as well. A friend helped me to move the stuff. Well, a couple of friends, but one of them, he got me this bag filled with these Lego poly bags because he works at a company that sells these, so he had a lot of them. So I got even more Lego now than before I went there to get my stuff. But what's in this box? Yeah, there's a lot of old Star Wars figures because I used to collect Lego Star Wars. That's falling over. So just handful of stormtroopers and that kind of cool stuff. No dust. So that's what's going on currently, and since we're going to sell this house also and we haven't found a new place to move to, it's a bit stressful, as you might imagine. But I hope to get like a basement where I could have a vintage town, just put out all of this stuff. So that will be like in one corner, and then I will have my own mock city in another corner of that basement. With that said, stay out of the nonsense, stay awesome, and please watch this video I made before.